Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stilezzi here, and I got an Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World casted game for you. So, previously, if you checked out my earlier one, I did one with the Chimeras versus the Circle. I would totally check that one out. But now we got CptLink back again with the Circle here. Gommuistan responds to the last game and decides to do the Inuits. So, we'll see how this one turns out. The map here, I always recognize this map as Esoc, Arkansas, because I play Wars of Liberty a lot, and there it's actually not a map in India. It's actually, you know, the place where Bill Clinton comes from, basically, and all his Cuban cigars and stuff. So, yeah, take that as you will. Anyways, let's get started now. So, the Inuits. Inuits belong to the Native American culture, so I would say they're probably going to be a bit closer to the Lakota and the Hods just because they use the tribal marketplace instead of mining the coin directly. Other than that, though, they got all the other cool parts of a native civ, including the community plaza. For them, it's called the ceremonial grounds, and sort of a card and civ structure similar to that, with all big bun text and all. Yeah, basically. So right away, we notice something pretty cool here. We got the Huskies. These Huskies are actually a secondary villager that the Inuits can use. They don't cost any pop, and they're cheaper in food. So just a really cool villager to have. The only bad thing is they can only eat meat, so there's very limited tasks you can use them for, obviously. Also, their melee attack actually isn't too bad when you think about it. Well, it's actually about the same as a villager. What am I saying? Yeah, I was trying to figure that out during the stream on Saturday. I was like, wait a second, can the Huskies actually have more potential as military than the... Nah, they cannot. Now, this is another build you sort of need to know about if you're using the Inuits. It's basically a play on the granaries that the African civs get, except this one costs a bit of wood, so about 100 wood. Lures animals in, gives your villagers a boost when hunting animals, and contains the hunting upgrades like hunting dogs. I mean, they should just call it hunting huskies, am I right? Since all your dogs are huskies here and nothing else. Yeah, hunting huskies, maybe that should be something Kato should do. And while he's at it with the Circle, why doesn't he call their hunting technology hunting hounds? Because when you look at the icon from the Circle Civ at their market, their hunting technology has a hound dog. So maybe hunting huskies and hunting hounds. A lot of H's there. So just an idea. Well, this is going to be pretty interesting. From what we saw the last game, the Circle has a lot of interesting ways to do military. They can use the Ossus area to train their infantry and cavalry. They can use their Ossus enclave to train foreign units from Europe, depending on which European enclave they ally with as part of their age up. They got the bestiary to make animal units that don't cost any pop. They can do artillery from the foundry, and they can even ship in random native warriors, yeah. Last game we saw these two cards being used, the African Enclave Allies and the Asian Enclave Allies. And as I said before, basically what these cards do is there's a bit of RNGesus to them. Basically, they'll ship 11 random native warriors from their respective regions. So, for instance, for Asians, you might get War Elephants, Rattan Shields, Chakrams, anything like that. For the African one, maybe Berber Camels, ESO Riders, and things of that nature. So, it really depends. Yeah. Oxen wood carts, this is basically a wood chopping technology. So it's getting a bit of wood there. It's probably for the best, since the Circle does need a lot of wood early on, I find, to get what they need. Especially since you might want to add a bestiary in with your Ossus. Just saying. We didn't see any of that the last game, but, you know. Whenever I have a bit of floating food and wood in the matches, the circle, I like to have a bestiary there so I can just add in a bit of a meat shield so the enemy is attacking my animals that don't cost any pop and not the stuff that I have to pay out a lot of resources for, like my Bone Guard Musketeers, my Bone Guard Swordsmen, or things of that nature. Yeah. Starts right away with the Headhunter shipment, so a bit different than last game. Oh, he did get the African Enclaves first, and then he's going to add in the Headhunters right after that. Very interesting choice. Now, Gommuistan has some interesting options himself. So, Gommuistan has access to the War Hut to make his infantry. He has access to some sort of stable building too, where he can make a variety of different types of cavalry. He can make polar bear cavalry, he can do dog sleds, he can even do packs of wolves. So a lot of stuff there. Or he can do the siege workshop in H3 onwards to make siege units like light cannons, long range fire arrow archers for siege and stuff of that nature. So right away his war settlement is being attacked. What's the difference between a war settlement and a war hut exactly? Well, war settlements do not do a ranged attack. You know, war settlements only provide the training aspect. So it's really just a glorified barracks. A barracks with a cool name to it. Yeah, and that cool barracks is going to go down in flames. It's kind of funny because all the Inuit buildings are made of snow and ice. So it kind of makes lore sense when you're literally using torches to take down all the snow and ice and make it melt and stuff. Yeah. Really does. Because, you know, in all these other instances, when you're playing Age of Empires 3, does it make you wonder how many torches it would really take to take down like a structure like that? But for the Inuits, it doesn't probably take that much, because as soon as you get a few fires in there, those igloos are going to start melting really fast and turning into a nice supply of clean drinking water, hopefully, for the Inuits to recover later. Yeah. So these are Arctic hunters. These are Inuit skirmishers, actually. Believe it or not, these are skirmishers. Instead of using a rifle, they use a harpoon gun. So they have a cool little bit of a projectile animation where it shows an actual harpoon being fired at the enemy. Yeah, quite interesting. And that's sort of their town center's big bun unit, because as you know, with all the Native American civs, they have different big bun techs, with the town center one being sort of your defensive one that makes a unit. For the Inuits, it happens to be the Arctic Hunter Skirms. Yeah, he seems to be getting pressured pretty hard here right now. Well, one thing Gommuistan does have on his side now is the fact that he's an age ahead right now, so he can send some of his really good shipments out. He's going to make 8 Inglituks right now. These are basically going to be these right here. These are basically the strongest unit for the Civ, I believe. Yeah, it's these guys right here. They get multipliers against cavalry and infantry. So basically like a godlike version of the Jaguar Knights of the Aztecs. Look at CptLink, like, what was that? How did this man with the dog just shred an entire army of African warriors and knights and stuff? Like, seriously, like, look at this thing. If I didn't know this game very well, you might think that this is literally just grandma walking her dog through the park. How do they basically destroy an entire army of soldiers like this elephant and stuff? These dog walkers can actually humble a war elephant, believe it or not. Watch me if you don't believe me. Look at the cute little dog. Look at the cute little doggy there walking through the park, right? Now, no, not a cute doggy. Takes out an entire tiger claw. Takes out another one. Takes out the rattan shield. Okay, I'll give him credit there. He was able to do something there. Probably because Gommuistan was not focused on the fight. He was mostly focused on taking out the trading post there. So that explains that one. What's going on over here? Looks like you're getting some pressure up here from Ossus Lancers and Bone Guard Muskets. We'll lose your Arctic Hunters, it looks like. Not good. Not good at all. Does have a lot of food though, so that's good. Yeah, that's really good. He threw a net at that unit to take him out. Hunting rifles. This is basically the same. This is basically the Circle's version of Steel Trap, just so you know. You know, you might think it's an upgrade to the villagers' ranged attack, but no, it actually is a hunting technology. Yep. Surprise, surprise. War's helmet goes down, and now the question is, what can Gommuistan do to survive here? Now, what he's going to do is he's going to make 6 more of these Inuits. These more than ordinary dog walkers in the park. Yeah, who knew that carrying a wooden staff and having a dog with you was enough to take out a whole army? Well, the Inuits figured it out. Yeah, here we go this time. Look at what they do. That's not grandma walking her dog anymore. That's a ferocious gladiator. Look at these lancers. Like, you know, these fully armored knights of the medieval era can't deal with the dog walker. It's not even like they're even real knights at that point. They're just like those people that dress up in tights and armor and do stuff at Richard's Fair or whatever. You know, those medieval shows where they let you eat turkey legs and stuff. That's basically it. Yeah, enjoy your turkey leg while it lasts. Yep, looks like the Arctic hunters have been shipped in now, so now you got a bit of skirmishers there to help you out. I think he's survived, yeah. Sadly, none of his dog walkers survived, so he's going to have to survive on harpoon guns here. Yep, get that treasure coin. Now, what's going to be the long-term strategy? I don't know at this point. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Where we go from here, I don't know. CptLink continues to persist with Lancers. Does have some Ossus pikemen, which are, well, pikemen. Nothing too special about them. These being like the Janissary-like musketeer, and then you got some chakras left over from the Enclave shipment. Civs. I believe this is a mining upgrade similar to placer mines for the Europeans, so just like that. Up gets the Quamlutics. These are the dog sleds. Do you like Age of Empires 1 and chariot archers? Well, I got something for you, my friend. I got dog sleds. Take the horses out and replace them with dogs. Yeah. Literally Age of Empires 1 all over again. Yep. But unlike Age of Empires 1, these guys are good against cavalry instead of infantry. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yep, you gotta watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Because the Ossus pikemen are completely shredding them. Yeah. Very sad. Quite a different unit than the one in Wars of Liberty. The one in Wars of Liberty doesn't quite have as much damage, but it has a lot more HP, you know. The Quamlutics in Wars of Liberty are like uber tank dragoons, like Teutonic Knight level HP. It's insane. Maybe you should consider giving them those stats. That'd be pretty funny. But I don't think they'd be practical anymore, since they wouldn't be applicable against cav anymore. They just sort of mildly counter cavalry, but just be a giant tank. So I can understand his stats choice here. Just saying. Oh no, villagers, no, doggies, no, they're dying. Gotta save them. Gotta save them. Save the doggos. Yeah, it seems like nobody's quite winning. Oh, wait a second. CptLink will age up with the Italian Enclave. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So this, I believe, will grant him access to Basigliales and Pavasiers, but I'm not too sure, actually. You know, I never really go with the Italian Enclave to ever check them out, so this will be a bit new for me as well. I usually go with Portuguese, Spanish, British, French, and sometimes Maltese. That's what I usually do. You can also go for Russians, and then as you can see here, you can also go with Italians. It just sort of depends on what you usually prefer for units, typically. I mean, either way, though, no matter what he makes, these totally innocent dog walkers walking through the park are going to be a total threat regardless. I mean, look at those hand stats, like 35 times 2 for the cav and then 1.5 for the infantry. Here comes the polar bear cavalry, the Nanuktuks. Imagine riding on top of a polar bear. Like, what is wrong with this polar bear? What is wrong with this picture? I mean, a polar bear, if he was smart, would knock the little Inuit off and eat him. Like, why is he letting him ride on top of him like that? Like, you know, what happened to your kind? I mean, you used to eat these Inuits. Now you're letting them jump on your back and have you riding around India. Like, this is totally unexpected for you, little polar bear. Yep, I don't know what happened to you, but gotta get your polar bear manhood back, I think, and eat the rider. That's what I think. But statistically, they're basically just hussars, pretty much, so nothing too different there. I mean, they literally have the same cost as a hussar, the same HP as a hussar, the same hand attack as a hussar, so yeah, just a hussar, but with the polar bear instead of a horse, basically. Yeah. We've got bone guards, we got Ossus lancers, so kind of trying to watch falconets. I don't know what's going to happen to these falcons. You might have called the falcons out too. Yes, he did. I mean, the polar bears are going to eat the falconets now. Oh, big time. Yep. And the dog walkers destroy the infantry. And the Ossusary is no longer the Ossusary. Wow, good push there by Gommuistan. Completely shredded his forward base and also takes out the villager that built the whole thing. He's going to keep riding around and trying to do as much damage as he can. More dog walkers, and then picks up the card Spirits of the Aurora Borealis. Basically, this card will heal all your units instantly, so it's kind of does like a one-time thing that the Chinese Temple of Heaven does, basically, where it heals everything instantly. But the other thing it does is it basically improves your military's training time by 35%. Infantry, cavalry, and even the light cannons too, so literally everything gets improved by it. It's a really powerful shipment to send if you can. Yeah, imagine being the poor person who had to go back to your king and say, we sent the king's musketeers in, but they got beaten up by a bunch of guys with big coats on and wooden sticks and their pet dogs. Like, yeah, that's very strange. It's like you got swords, you got muskets, but the dogs and the wooden staffs are way too much for you. Makes you basically rethink your whole progression of technology as a civ, pretty much. Yeah. Who needs the weapons when you can just use the dogs instead? Yeah. Well, anyways, here's the Ossus headhunters with some Minutemen, some veteran Bone Guard musketeers now. The man will keep spamming the dog walkers because why not? I would do the same thing knowing what their stats are. What has he even got here? He got 5 Ossus Lancers. He can get Cav Combat. Got his crates. If he wants to jump to age 4 at all. Now, these are the Italian cards that you get with the Italian Enclave. You get Monte di Pieta to get a Lombard and deposit some coin in your Lombards. But guess what? You only get 1 Lombard, so is it really that good? Nah. And then you get the R1 Guardia di Finanza. The financial place collects coin for each MA unit you have defeated so far, up to a maximum of 3,000 resources. So, yep, really good for the late game. Oh, he is making some peculiarities out of the Enclave. Now, this is what he might need here, since these dog walkers are actually heavy infantry, as you can see. So the best way to deal with them, of course, will be skirmishers. And sad part to be in the circle is your civ does not have skirmishers by default, so you do need to use one of your skirmisher wielding enclaves to help you with that. Be it either the Italians with Persicates, the Russians with Unstoppable Stelezzi Me, the British with their longbows or rangers, or the Portuguese with their cazadores. So yeah, got a few options there, but you do need one of the ones I mentioned if you hope to have any skirms at all, basically. It really depends on if CptLink can get enough Persicates to counteract this dog walker problem he's been dealing with here. Yeah. The good thing, of course, with the Enclave units is that they start out with guard upgrades. Yeah. So as long as you're still in the industrial age or less, they are going to be very solid for you. You know, once you get into Imperial Age, they don't get that Imperial upgrade anymore unless they sort of fall off the track a bit. That's fine, you know. Because your roster is literally 1,000,000 strong when you're playing the circle, so that's totally fine. There's like 20 different solutions to the same problem if you're willing to experiment with it, you know. Like, it depends on what enclaves you go if you might have like 4 or 5 different skirmishers to choose from. So yeah, sky's the limit. Looks like for right now it's going to add in mounted bone guards. These are dragoons actually, so they'll help against cavi. Gommuistan sticking to what he knows best, which is the dog walker. The dog walkers here. The Inuits. Yeah. What should casters call this professionally if like it becomes part of the ESOC tournament? Should they call them Inuits or should they call them dog walkers? I'll just call them dog walkers because it's just some granny with the coat on walking her pet doggies down the street. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all I see, anyways. Putting the town center up here for map control purposes, it looks like. Yeah, you see in the last game what CptLink did, I won't spoil it, but he went with Portuguese. Yeah, I think I already spoiled it saying that, but okay. Yeah, Portuguese moment. Gotta love the Portuguese. The Portuguese. Yeah, that's the funny. That's the funny thing. In like the Spanish language, you call it Portuguese, and then when you think about how the Portuguese lame the game sometimes with their town center stuff with the covered wagons, and you still call them the Portuguese to make, you know, compare. Yeah, exactly. You exactly know what it is. Alright, so now this is a very interesting ant. So it might look like a musketeer, but he's actually throws nets instead. Yeah. He's a netketeer. A netketeer. He throws nets at people. And I guess against cavalry he uses some sort of wind spear or something, you know. It's a musketeer before even the invention of the bow, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but in all honesty, it looks like he's literally like an Italian chef working at the pizzeria, and then he's like has that hot dough that he just created. He's not hot dough, but you know, dough that he made out of all the flour, and he's like tossing in the air and stuff. He's literally like he takes a pizza dough and throws it at you. That's what it looks like. That's what I think of when I see them throw their nets. It's like he's literally throwing like a big pizza dough at them like that. Well, let's see how these perform. And then in terms of costs, they are pretty cheap. You know, they don't cost any coin. They actually cost wood. So as long as you have trees nearby, they're actually a pretty cost-effective unit. It's usually the first thing you usually go for, actually, is the net throwers. See what I mean? Look at these big nets. They look like throwing pizza dough at them. Like very brown pizza dough. That's basically it. Brown pizza dough. Beating cavalry with pizza dough. Can you believe that? Yeah, that's what the Definitive Edition developers should have did. They should have had an Italian cheat unit that threw pizza dough at their enemies based off of this thing right here. Yeah, they should have taking the Cato Santa. Ooh, look at that. Buffaloes. Watch out for the buffaloes. Nice try. Yeah, these are one of the animal units you can get from the bestiaries of the circle. It's technically the strongest one you can get, and they don't cost any pops, so that's good. Yeah, but as I was saying before, what they should have done is the devs should have seen what Katos did in Age of the World and said, you know what, we're going to create a cheat unit, an Italian chef that throws pizza dough into your face, to basically be similar to the Inuits. Yeah, it counters everything except for massed artillery. If you want to make like 20 falconets, that might be good enough to deal with them, maybe, just maybe. But how are you going to afford 20 falconets, might I ask? Like, you're not. So yeah, you know what these Inglotuks or dog walkers reminds me of? It reminds me of Signor Verlingo playing with the harmonicas with the Inca Civ in Wars of Liberty. Like those flexible spearmen that you wonder how they're beating infantry, even skirmishers. That's what it feels like when I see somebody use these dog things with the Inuits. It's like they're supposed to be like a jaguar warrior, but because of the way they set up the stats, they end up being good against literally everything that is in a cannon. They'll even beat a cannon in numbers. Like, there's like nothing you can do against these guys if they're massed properly, you know? So the thing I recommend for you when you're dealing with these things is mass out a bunch of skirmishers with some artillery. If you can do that, you're fine. Or anything like this too, Basigliaries, they have a bit of kiting potential because they have the range there. So this is another good unit. I mean, obviously you're going to need more of them pretty much, but yeah, kind of get the idea. Gets another batch of Basigliaries out to try to kite these guys down. Does have some lancers there too. Does seem to be getting some footing back though. Some lost ground there. Nice clean elimination there. I think he's okay for now. Really depends. Does he have a... Yeah, he does have some okay map control with some... He's got good control of this area here with all these villas and the town center, so we're protecting the entranceway. That's pretty smart. Now, what is he going to do about this dilemma? So he's going to try to just do the Ossus Lancers. I would try going for flamethrowers here if it was me. At least if it was me, I'd try the flamethrowers here. Like, stack. That might be a way that Circle can deal with the dog walker problem, is really just do like a bunch of the flamethrowers from the foundry. That's what I would try at least. Yeah. That needs to be nerfed too. Yeah. I like it though. It's fun when it's OP. Yeah. Kind of makes it feel like old Wars of Liberty type of vibes, which is totally fine. You know what we need for Age of the World? We need a cheese hunt. Just like we had in Wars of Liberty, have a cheese hunt tournament. And they counter everything and they run too fast. Yeah, because not only are they dog walkers, but they're fit dog walkers. You know, like those women that jog while walking their dog and they all run and stuff down the sidewalk. That's basically what these are. They're like a bunch of American women with their dogs walking them, like jogging down the sidewalk. Except these ones are pretty deadly. Yeah. The Explorer gives buffs too. Oh, yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference if the Explorer's there? Did they actually... Oh, interesting. I see it. Yeah, I saw their movement speed go from like 4 point something up to 5.5. Yeah, it's actually quite dangerous. But now this is what he needs to do, which is great that he's doing. He's using the bestiary to get some cougars out, some white cougars, to mix in with his army, so all the dog walkers will fight the cougars and not his skirmishers in the back. Very clever trick. If the cougars can reach their destination, that is, yeah. Sadly, the hunter will be hunted here by the dog walkers, yeah. And the harpoon gunners, too. Alright, here comes the Basigliates. Yeah, see, I think if he uses the Basigliates, he might be able to counter them somewhat. But now that they're catching up, though, they actually outrun him when they have the war chief with them, which is really frightening. What are they doing? Why are they running like that? Something. Now they're running normal. I was like, why are they flailing their arms and stuff? Like, whoa, like that. You know what they're doing there. Yeah, looks like Basigliates are able to defend. Flowing a lot of coin and wood there. What are you going to do with all that stuff? If you could get to age 4, I would say make some light cannons too. Light cannons for siege with all these dog walkers. I think you'd be in perfect shape, yeah. Perfect shape. Also, this is the hidden library, for those who don't know. So basically what you do with this is it provides you with military improvements, and also you can gather wood from it too. So it's like combining a mango grove from India with an arsenal. Yeah, the Circle gets some pretty cool buildings like that. Also, for their capital building, it's literally the Fountain of Youth. So you can, not only does it research the capital stuff, but it heals all your units too. Pretty neat unit overall. Getting calf combat for the polar bears. Yeah, the polar bears are going to be an issue. Yeah. Uh-oh. Nope. Here comes the polar bears. They go up to 7.43 speed with the war chief. That is very dangerous. Gives you, like, no time to run away from them. Even for these fast skirms, like, yeah. Now he wishes that he probably had War's Liberty Basigliates, which are dragoons instead of skirms. Yeah. If only he could swap the stats instantly, that would help him out so much. Pikeman, get that one. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if we can survive this one. It's looking a little bit tough with all those bears. I think if it was just the dog walkers, maybe he could pull a trick. But with the bears tanking, it's going to be really hard for him to do much. And will actually make it kind of impossible to use artillery against the dog walkers too. We'll see, though. We'll see. Elite non. This is the funny thing. It shows a horse, but the upgrade is for a polar bear. So why don't you put a bear here, like a brown? No, yeah, put a bear here. Yeah, put a bear there. So here's some of those mounted bone guards, pretty much. Probably trying to take care of his timing there so he doesn't throw the dragoons to the polar bears at that point. Here comes some more net throwers too. Throw their pizza dough at 'em. Polar bear. Polar bear. Nano took. Alright, looks like that is... Okay. Good match. Let's look at the post game. CptLink, like the last game, had more resources, so that's interesting. But this time, the kill count is with Gommuistan, with the dog walkers. Yeah, dog walkers for the win. So there we go, folks. Pretty clean win for the Inuits. Good match. Good match indeed. Hopefully we get some more of these, you know. Hopefully you enjoyed this game as well as the one I did in the previous video tonight. So, yep. Definitely were some pretty cool ones. Sign off now. See you whenever somebody gives me these recordings again, which I'm more than happy to cast. So, see you there. Sign off now.